Ladies and gents,
welcome back.
It's Friday.
Absolutely, you know what that means.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
It's time for the best sports podcast on planet Earth at this specific time.
Regardless of the time, you can hear this 3 years from now. It's the best sports podcast around.
It's facts.
Check out all our previous episodes while you're at it. But since you're here now, let's talk sports about what's happening right now. Let's make some money for the weekend.
Absolutely. For anyone tuning in right now, if you guys tuned in last week, you know that was technically the first show of the year. There were some things that we still had to clean up and fix, and this week we're coming back and we're hoping to be more geared towards that goal. All of our graphics and everything look amazing. Let us know what you guys think about those in the comments. We have all that updated. Boy John over here handled that. And then we have NBA Deal or No Deal, which we still don't have a full plan for yet. We have a long NBA season ahead of us. We will definitely be bringing that back here.
Absolutely. We want to make it the best as possible, make it something truly to tune in for, as it's already an amazing segment and idea. Right. We want to capitalize on that idea the best we can.
Absolutely. So we're still in the works behind the scenes on that. That'll be back here very soon. But for now, we have some other things that we still need to talk about, and some other sports we need to get into. If you guys can see on the screen right now, we're on the MLB slideshow.
We got some beautiful stars over here to our left. Ellie, Shohei,
Absolutely.
Bobby Witt.
We got our Reds and baseball stuff right here on the front panel. We're ready to talk a little bit of baseball.
Absolutely. Obviously, recently there hasn't been major news, such as spring training additions, minor league contracts, filling out holes, getting ready for the season. I mean, really less than about 2 months away now.
Yeah, 100%. I know, it's super exciting come March, April time. Once we get into spring training, beginning of the season, we'll definitely be bringing back some home run parlays and some things that we really enjoyed last year. Now that football season's coming to a close. But some big news that actually just came out today for the MLB. It was kind of like the situation with Yamamoto last year. Yeah. These overseas Korean, Japanese players that are starting to sign, deals with some MLB teams.
Absolutely, get a lot of recognition.
Absolutely.
The last few years.
We finally got the result of Roki Sasaki. I know he's been kind of in the bigger talks the last few weeks. I know the Dodgers and other teams, or Dodgers, Padres, and a couple other teams were in the running for him. They were all kind of pretty excited for him. And guess where he landed? Where everybody lands nowadays. Los Angeles Dodgers.
Who would?
Yeah, he joins his guy Yamamoto last year, kind of the same, like I said, the same story. They now officially this year should have the return pitching of Shohei Ohtani.
Absolutely. I was talking to somebody at work about this, about the whole Yankees fan, you know who it is. Mm-hmm. But talking about obviously everything going on in the offseason, little things the Reds have done here and there, the Yankees on his side, etc. Then we were talking Dodgers, I'm like, yep, Shohei should be back in the pitching lineup. Yeah. Obviously they're expected to add Soki, who just signed.
Glasnow. They still have Blake Snell. They added Yamamoto.
Yeah, but what's scary is you have a 9-man rotation.
Yeah.
They got dudes on the bench ready for any injury, any possibility.
Yeah, they'll have dudes in the bullpen that could be starting pitchers on a lot of other teams.
Exactly, yeah.
We talked about how dominant they were last year, and obviously the run they went on to go win the World Series. And man, they're gearing up to do it again.
Yeah.
And it's looking pretty scary.
And Shohei has a possibility of going back, being a two-way player now.
Yep.
Doesn't even have to. He can take nights off, obviously, with how deep their rotation is now.
Right. I will say, I know we've seen probably one of the greatest seasons of all time from Shohei Ohtani this year, almost 55-55, but a 50-50 season as a pure, just designated hitter, which kind of scares me a little bit going into next season. I don't think he'll quite be on that batting level next season, just with the added weight and, stress and tiredness of pitching next year.
Absolutely. He almost set a new milestone for all of MLB. So that's something to behold in itself.
Right.
But obviously now with the weight of pitching and how deep their lineup is, he doesn't have to go out and stress himself, break himself down early on.
I think now that they see that a lot of Shohei's value is going to come on the batting side of things, as it did this year, I don't think he'll be as predominant of a starting pitcher next year, especially just with the depth of him that we've been talking about this whole time.
Definitely a valuable DH now, obviously, but I think last season was his season to go out and prove what he can do on the bat, so he's not stressing about it as much this season.
Right.
Getting back to helping the team win, which wasn't an issue last season.
All,
so
really.
something for all MLB to look out for.
Yeah, no, 100%. Enough of the Dodgers, though. We're not Dodgers fans around here. We know who we are. We're Cincinnati Reds fans.
Been a few additions lately.
There has been. It hasn't been as exciting as some Reds fans obviously have hoped for so far in the offseason. But we're making some moves. I just think the biggest thing with me and the Reds and so far this offseason is we're in a lot of rumors. I've seen a lot of these big names, and the newest rumor of Anthony Santander from Baltimore.
Absolutely. I've heard a lot of people mention him.
Yeah, I know we've obviously been in the rumors of Luis Robert as we were at the deadline last year. There's just a lot of big names. Garrett Crochet, we talked about a little bit before we traded for the other guy. Brain fart his name right at the moment.
We have quick rundown. Obviously, we got Terry Francona as a new manager to start things off for the offseason. Could have been the biggest move of this offseason, though. Then after Francona, we got Brady Singer.
Yeah,
who made moves for Jose Trevino, the catcher from New York.
Absolutely.
And then we picked up, obviously, Gavin Lux, World Series experience.
Yeah, he was good last year. No, and I think these moves are obviously beneficial, and they're going to help us, obviously. But I want to see a splash, man.
Everybody does. Everybody knows we need that outfield big bat. We still don't have a big bat ever since, honestly, Joey left.
Right.
Even at 40, he was still one of the biggest bats.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know a lot of our players, major players and bats were out last season. It seems to be a trending topic the last 3 seasons, if not more. But how many times can we be in a rumor for them to go somewhere else? We need to make a move. We still need that bat. Cincinnati's always been scared to spend money, but the time is now.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we talk about the youth so much over here and just the depth and young guys we have, and you have to build around that. These guys are obviously going to get better, they're going to progress, but a year isn't going to change a whole lot for these guys. It's going to take a few years down the road before they start becoming superstars. So we need to add people now. We need somebody a big name. I know we said it a million times now, but you mix in a big name with guys like that are young and can play it and get better throughout the season, it could be scary.
100%. I mean, obviously we have all these young players, and our biggest thing, as we said about a year ago at this point, the youth, the potential in Cincinnati is crazy.
Right.
Almost everybody on the roster under the age of 25.
100%.
A lot of potential and growth to still look forward to.
Right.
Our pitching lineup is pretty deadly now. Lodolo, Green, Singer.
It's getting there. Young guy that we drafted this year. And we got,
Louder.
Yeah. It's getting there. And it's nice to see. Obviously, don't forget the return of one of our best bats when healthy this year, Matt McClain, who we didn't see at all last year.
Exactly.
Due to his injury. But, it's a good team of good players.
Right now, we have a chance to contend, but in this division, when everybody's making really big moves, what does contending do?
Right.
Another 5-10 more wins doesn't get us in the postseason.
No, 100%. And even when we do get in the postseason, there's a lot more competition around the corner that we're going to have to contend.
Exactly. And when our hottest player is 25 and having a 22 home run season, that's scary to look up to. Look forward to.
Let's just hope our boy Terry can see the potential in this team and realize that we're 1 or 2 big names away from being really good.
Yeah, outside of, obviously a Santander or Robert move late here. There's talks of moving a bunch of the infield into the outfield around spring training time, testing out different things there. I know a lot of people wanted to see Ellie and his speed and arm in the outfield. But the addition of Gavin Lux almost forces that idea.
Yeah.
Unless there's a Santander Robert pickup late here and we actually spend some money.
Yeah.
But there's something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
We just need a big bat.
Yeah.
So, we may have a fast arm in center field or left field, but what's that going to do if we're only scoring 1 run?
He's not your Aaron Judge or Shohei you're looking for. That's going to hit you 40-plus home runs. But
Exactly.
he can do everything else. So fill in the holes. That's all you got to do, man. But other than that, I mean, baseball is still kind of stale. Like we said, we're waiting a few months away until we start really kicking into gear. Super excited.
Spring training and all the opening days kick off. I'll be excited.
Absolutely. But definitely once baseball season gets on over here, you know that's the primary of what we do. And we love to do it. So if you're a baseball fan, we're almost there. Just keep up and stay with us here. And when the time comes, we'll definitely provide some entertainment.
Absolutely.
Anything else for baseball you want to say?
And then that kind of caps everything off here recent.
Okay. So now we can move on. Let me see. Hold on. DraftKings just. The Dodgers World Series odds went up 40 from plus 360 to plus 320 with the signing of Rookie Sasaki. So still just getting better.
Yeah.
But that can bring us into our NBA section.
Absolutely.
Where we actually have to get rolling on that ball. You like to kick it off with some betting. Welcome to the new beautiful background for the NBA. Make it look a little Pacers over here. I guess that's a little
Black and yellow. Don't come at me.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But if you guys know how we like to do it, it's Friday night. Outside of talking sports, we like to win money on sports.
Absolutely. You got some basketball on deck tonight. About 40, 50 minutes.
About 20, 30.
30.
Yeah.
33.
Yeah, to be exact.
Don't be coming at me.
Yeah. 40.
33 minutes from where we're sitting. But money to be made. Good game tonight. A good slate. Unfortunately, we don't have our full Pacers and Lakers.
We got the Lakers
matchup. Absolutely. The Lakers shows up tonight. Pacers played last night. Yeah. Another beautiful win over the Pistons. We've been on a streak. I know you saw us knock down the Cavs.
I did see that.
We're on like a 10-game win streak.
I did see that. Cavs also just got routed by the Thunder last night by like 40 points. So that was cool to see.
Well, I didn't check the final score, but I did see that I got smoked.
Yeah.
Donovan with 8, Evan Mobley with 5.
Yeah, they only played like 20 minutes because they were down so much. Their biggest lead of the game was 42.
I didn't hit that Pacers bet underneath, though. Let me see that.
There you go.
I'm ready to see my year in review. The Pacers beating me.
We're only 3 weeks in, baby. All right, well, with that being said, we don't have our usual specials that FanDuel offers, but they did give us the 30 for 30, just no Friday first, unfortunately. But
they saw us cooking. They had to take something away from us.
Facts, but 30 on 30 would probably been the better one to take, but we'll keep it. You guys know how we like to do. We like to do a little obvious, a little money line, and then we like to cook on whatever FanDuel decides to give us the promos. There's definitely a lot of games tonight. I do know there's a same game boost, so we can probably add that with this money line as long as we do how we did last week and take somebody to score some buckets to go along with it.
Some big yuggies.
Absolutely. All right, so we can get started on the NBA slate, and we can kind of break these down, go along how we usually do. First up on the night, Celtics and Magic.
Absolutely no value, and I get it.
Yeah.
I get the Celtics are good.
They are.
I get the Magic have been going through a rough patch the last 15, 20 years.
Okay, let's relax because the Magic with Paolo and Franz are really good.
I know, but you didn't let me finish. The Lions being this far are insane to me because the Celtics blow every game to the inconsistent teams.
Yeah, I agree. Paolo finally back and healthy, been playing for the Magic the last couple games. Definitely going to be an impact tonight. Now listen, I hear you that there's no value, and with that being said, I'm okay not having the Celtics if that's what you need. But I'm not okay betting against the Celtics.
No, that's not what I was saying.
Yeah, no.
We could look into a spread. I was not saying that. I don't get the FanDuel favoritism towards the Celtics.
I mean,
even if this was the Cavaliers, that line would make sense to me because it's the top team. Celtics are going to go off. But, the Pacers, excluding that one game, we're not going to talk about that. And, Pistons,
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, but FanDuel always gonna lean heavy on the big favorites. I feel like the value's not terrible in all spreads.
Surely they win by 7, right? 6.5.
Oh, yeah. You're right, man. Hopefully they win by 7. At least.
See, the Lions drop more, -11.
Yeah, that's insanity.
Don't go Boston. Well, go Boston spread.
Yeah.
You just said Boston -6.5, the first one on the slate. And the Timberwolves and the Knicks. A game that could be exciting.
Listen, I love Ant. I'm a big fan of what Minnesota's doing. I ain't gonna lie to you, I recently downloaded 2K finally and started my career.
Same.
Playing point guard for the Timberwolves. Are you serious?
I swear to God.
I will show you right now.
I am.
It's right there.
The bad thing on mine, Ant and Gobert injured.
Dang. Man, Ant.
Gobert's close to them. So were we.
Yeah.
We were.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Yeah.
That's probably part of the storyline.
We'll have to talk about that later. We're going to take a show of that. But with that being said, I do like what's going on in Minnesota. But Ant said it the other night. He's getting kind of brutal. It's kind of crazy to see. They asked him in an interview kind of what's been happening with him lately, and he said the starting 5 sucks. This is essentially what he said. He said we're bad. We
For
started
the last 2
slow.
years, they've had that issue of the chemistry. And I don't know why they thought trading Cat in tonight's revenge game, by the way, was a good idea out of all things to fix the lineup. But Gobert, the slowest player in the NBA, is the guy you stick with.
Yeah.
Clog the lane for your growing superstar wing, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, Gobert was definitely not the guy to keep in that situation. I could have told you that.
I mean, a lot of people could have told you that, but we're not in Minnesota. We're not GMs for whatever reason.
I'm a player there, man.
See?
But the Knicks, man.
I got a whole store left.
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But the Knicks, man, they've been good. The Knicks, roster-wise, may be the best-looking roster in all of basketball, if we're being real, just in depth and talent. And they're just good, dude.
Yeah, ever since they added Cat, they've had that fire.
Like you said, Cat up against the T-Wolves, he might go
In
like
New
30
York.
on 30 special tonight.
In New York.
Yeah, I'm riding New York all the way. No chance I'm picking Minnesota.
In New York.
Yeah. All right, Raptors and Bucks. This is lopsided on the lines for good reason.
Everybody expected to play, I believe, on both sides for the most part, outside of somebody's been missing for Toronto for a minute. I forget who it is.
I can't help you at the moment.
Yeah, there's somebody, I'm pretty sure.
The Bucks, though, Giannis, in the MVP race right now, don't get me wrong, I love Jokic, but the MVP race, it's SGA and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Quickly, so.
No questions about it. Giannis has been on an absolute tear, averaging almost 32 points a game. I think close to 13 rebounds.
Top
Yeah.
teams in the East, but
And Dame. They're finally figuring out to play together the kind of way Kyrie and Luka did, and Dame's been on a little fire.
Dame's been hooping. He's been real consistent. He's fit his role when they've needed him to. He's had double-digit assist games. He's literally been a perfect playmaker, hitting his shots when needed to. It's been crazy to see. He'll still go for 40 the nights he's needed.
I mean, he's still Dame. Let's not get it twisted. He's still the guy that he always has.
He'll still do 44 and 10 assists.
Absolutely. But with Giannis, there's no need to. He just plays his role,
Exactly.
Slam the Bucks. They're minus 550 for a reason. Raptors aren't all that great. Should be all Milwaukee tonight.
Pelicans and Jazz.
Yeah.
A team that never has a starting 5, but Zion is projected to play.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's late to another team practice for picking up Wendy's.
Yeah, certainly.
I know y'all saw that.
In the drive there. But I feel like since, the return of all these guys, DeJounte Murray and Zion Williamson, and one guy I really want to talk about who I think might become the best player in New Orleans is Trey Murphy. If you've paid any attention to this man this year, he's averaging 24 points per game, I believe. He has been possibly the best 3-and-D player in all of basketball. He's not even just
sure he's
3-and-D anymore.
been all around huge.
Yeah, he's dang near a superstar at this point. I was looking at his stuff the other day, dude, and I watched him play a little bit. He has been a surprise, and I really think he could be the most improved player.
Averaging 22, 5, and 3.
Yeah, that's just he's leading
three threes a game, by the way.
He's leading their team in points per game.
The last 4, he had 24, 32, 30, 22.
Yeah, he's good, dude.
10 boards, 6 boards, 6 boards, 8 boards.
Yeah, he's been absolutely huge for them this season. He's had almost, a double-digit amount, 30-plus games.
Yeah, steal, 3 steals, 0 against Boston, and 2 steal against Washington.
Yeah, he's been great, dude. He's a big part of what they do. I really believe they should beat the Jazz tonight. There should be no reason why they don't. I'm pretty comfortable with that.
Absolutely. Bulls and the Hornets.
Yeah. The Ball brother matchup.
Yeah.
Both are healthy. Lonzo, LaMelo. I don't know, man. I believe if these two would have played, during the week stretch of Zach LaVine's dominance, I would have slammed the Bulls all day.
Yeah, Zach LaVine's kind of back to reality.
Yeah, he's come back down to earth for sure, and my bets are telling me that. But I feel like this is more of an even matchup than even the Lions say. I think this should essentially be a pick-me.
Yeah.
I think LaMelo can will these Hornets any which way he wants. He's been fantastic. So I don't know, man. I don't know about this one. What do you think?
I don't hate adding an underdog. I love LaMelo. I mean, is there a spread that works here? I don't hate adding straight up the Hornets either. Completely with you. They've been shaky. Outside of, again, Levine's week of averaging 35.
Right. Let me see here. Let me look at these a little bit. They got rocked by the Hawks last night, lost to the Pelicans the night before. The Bulls are on a 3-game losing streak.
Hornets plus 4.5.
Let me see.
Again, they could win outright.
I feel like you're absolutely right. But I feel like I would rather play a spread just to play it safe. 4.5's not bad. I feel like there's a lot of value though in a lot of these.
Exactly.
Plus 10.5's even minus 280 for a parlay. There's a lot of value in this.
Yeah, I don't think it is a blowout by any means.
No, I don't either.
10 and a half is beautiful because I don't think it's a 10
just
point
dropped
game.
to minus 275. I like it.
Mine's still at 280. They're trying to get me. Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
Trying to get you.
They're trying to get me.
I like that.
Nah, he's looking at it. Don't drop his odds yet. Hold on. They put the place this. Just hold on a minute.
Just give him a second. I like that. We can rock Hornets plus 10 out. Play it a little safer.
This line confuses them. Hold on. Matter of fact, the line changed. I want to mention that the Nuggets were plus money this morning when I woke up. And I don't know why. The Heat have been bad ever since Jimmy Butler said he wanted out. They've been horrible. He's been horrible.
100%.
I don't understand why the Nuggets were plus money. I think now the lines are a bit more realistic in the fact that they're not underdogs. But what am I missing?
Well, I know Jokic and Jamal Murray are both game time decisions.
Oh, I thought Jokic was cleared to play. That's why I was fully...
He also hasn't played their, last 2 games, I believe, Jokic?
Yeah, I think he was...
Yeah. The Heat are all completely healthy. I mean, if Jokic and Murray play, I'm with you. I see no reason why they should lose. I don't know, the most updated news on Jokic. Let me double check on that real quick.
Surely one of them been cleared for the Lions to drop almost 200.
Yeah, it has to be. There's not really much recent updates. It's all kind of hours ago. Huh. I mean, I think you should play, right? Official injury status.
Let's see.
I mean, he's listening to his questionable. Oh, the right elbow screen.
Oh, an hour ago, Jamal Murray probable.
Okay, that's good news.
I don't know. Nikola Jokic questionable right elbow sprain. Jamal Murray probable left knee inflammation.
Yeah, Murray should essentially play for sure. I mean, I'm with you on the Nuggets if as long as Jokic plays. I think they're a whole different team without Jokic, though, for being honest. I mean, obviously.
Doncic has been ruled out for the Mavericks, and so is Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah, Chet's been out.
Kyrie's questionable. Derek Lively's out. The injuries tonight. Ja Morant's questionable. Marcus Smart out. Vince Williams out. Jeremy Sohan out. Cameron Johnson questionable. Cam Thomas out. Anthony Davis probable. LeBron James probable.
Yep. Alright, so, I mean, you want to slam the Nuggets? Is that how you're feeling?
I like it. I just don't like the Heat. Ever since the Jimmy Butler news, they've been on a bad. I'd like to see what their last 10 or 15 would be.
Okay, we can rock that.
Honestly, I'd like to see the record since then. It's a lot of math right this second.
Now listen, we're sitting at a 7 leg right now. That's good odds. With 2 games left. Grizzlies, Spurs, Nets, Lakers. I am wholeheartedly on the Lakers tonight. 1,000,000%. No bias. We're playing the Nets. We're the -560 favorites. James and AD should both play like you said. We should rock the Nets.
We're at 7 leg. What am I missing? I'm at 6. Why am I?
Did you have the Nuggets?
Yeah.
No, we have Knicks, Bucks, Nuggets, Hornets, spread, Pelicans. Oh, because I did that one on my own. Technically, we're on the Thunder Mavericks. Never mind, my bad. So we were at a 6 leg.
Yeah.
This one was easy for me though. I think I clicked this way earlier and didn't.
Yeah, no Doncic. Kyrie's question.
Thunder are the best.
Kyrie's still cold.
Yeah, the Thunder are the best team in basketball. I don't care what you say. I would take them over the Celtics any day of the
The
week.
Grizzlies Spurs game scares me.
Yeah, I'm completely okay staying away from that one and playing the Lakers to clean it off at 8. And that's also 885 odds, so that should mean something. 8 legs, 885. Now, we can't use the boost on this unless we did add some very low tier scoring thing, or we save the boost. It doesn't matter to me. Oh wow, the Thunder just dropped to -260. And then our odds went up to +913. Why did they just drop so much?
I don't know.
Should they get ruled out?
Hartenstein and
No, Shay's not even hurt.
who else was it? Chet, Hartenstein.
Chet's been out for weeks, months. So do we want to add a points thing and use the boost on this, or just play it how it is?
Jalen Williams been hooping, man. Jalen Williams for 15.
I mean, we don't even have to add the 15. We could even add the 10 just to be able to use the boost, unless you feel confident in the 15.
Yeah, we can throw in the 10. I didn't even think about that.
We don't need it for odds, we just need it for the boost.
Thanks. Beautiful.
Alright, so that will bring you to a 9 leg, unfortunately not as pretty. Plus 908 with the boost, plus 1362. So a nice little booster on there for you.
Absolutely.
We can give them a quick rundown back on that. Real quick here. You want to start it off?
We had the Oklahoma City Thunder over the Mavericks, and Jalen Williams 10 points as a stack for us to be able to use our 50% Friday profit boost.
Absolutely. The Boston Celtics -6.5.
The New York Knicks,
The Milwaukee Bucks.
the New Orleans Pelicans,
Charlotte Hornets +10.5.
the Nuggets,
And my Los Angeles Lakers to close it out. The odds keep changing on this a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and slam my bet.
absolutely, because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So a nice little plus 1344 with the boost on final that I place. Obviously, odds are always subject to change, so just be careful.
Yeah, that moves back to -290.
Yeah, I just slammed it. Mine's in, so we good to go. All right, we have one more little bet on here. Our 30 for 30 special. Now, I've looked at this a little bit. I did see.
Yeah, these were the odds this morning.
Wow.
Plus money. That's $3.50.
Wow. Right. So you already essentially slammed it this morning.
I was going through this morning. I was like, what would we place for this?
Wait, why are... Okay, there we go. All right, so we can move on to this 30 for 30.
I didn't have the Hornets game. I was scared to make that decision. I'm glad I figured it out.
Now listen, we just mentioned this a little bit ago. There's really good odds. Karl Anthony Towns, 30 plus points, piques my interest a lot. Now that you said that about the revenge game.
See?
I mean, he's done that plenty of times this season. Coming off 26 and 30 in his last two games, put up 44 against the Bulls on January 4th.
Yeah, even 27 against Toronto. 30 against Giannis, gotta be saying something,
Yeah.
right?
And he's always teetering around that mark. I think 30 plus is definitely in the cards tonight. He's going up against the Timberwolves, who traded him away when they probably shouldn't have. He's got a reason to play tonight. I love him, if we're being real. Really good odds will really help the parlay boost. What do you think?
I love it.
All right, we can slam Cat on there for the first line.
No, we can pair that with SGA and maybe one more.
See?
That's already beautiful.
SGA always a product for 30 on any given night. Let's see. I know LaMelo is really good on. Good. I know Giannis.
I was about to say Giannis' last 5, 26, 33, 24, 41, 25 with his line at 29 and a half tonight.
Wow. I'm cool with that. If you want to go 30 plus on Giannis.
I like that. I do love that you mentioned LaMelo because I was thinking that going through like the rank. I could see it.
Yeah. I do know the 30-30 specials.
He's got minus 145.
For the Hornets and Bulls, there's a mix. One of them was LaMelo or Zach LaVine, which is not terrible, just to be a little safer in case Zach decides to pop off again tonight.
Randomly, yeah. There's always that chance.
Yeah.
Every time we bet money.
Literally.
Bet U.S. currency.
Literally. I don't know. Do you want to add one more? Do you want to add something to LaMelo or?
No, that's already really good odds with just Giannis.
Yeah.
SGA and Cat.
I mean, with the booster as well, it's really nice. You know, I do. You want to leave it at this?
I like it.
All right, we can leave it here.
3 legs.
Yep. So our first leg, we went Karl Anthony Towns, 30 plus,
SGA for 30 plus.
and Giannis Antetokounmpo, 30 plus to close it out. Without the boost on FanDuel, plus 1281. With the boost to 1665.
Beautiful odds.
Gorgeous. Slam that down while you still got the chance. And make sure you make some money this weekend, baby. Especially because these games start in about 10 minutes now.
Absolutely. See?
Nailed that perfectly.
We lock in around here.
Absolutely. Okay. With that coming to an end, I suppose we can move on, take a break from NBA. What are you thinking? You got anything else you wanted to do here?
Yeah, that kind of covers all our topics. Obviously, waiting to add something really good, again, for deal or no deal.
Absolutely.
Something that really provides the product of what the idea is.
Absolutely.
Bring it to actual light now on our new look, new feel show for this new year.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think that does close out the NBA section.
Okay.
For tonight.
Which will bring us
Keep your eyes on the beautiful screen.
to the NFL, baby. Welcome to where we talk NFL football.
Absolutely.
It's a great time to be alive, baby. Let's just put it that way. We are officially underway in the 2024-2025 NFL playoffs. And what a wild card weekend it was.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys joined us last week, you know we had a lot to talk about for wild card weekend in playoff football. And man, did we spit out some facts. I I ain't gonna lie to you. I almost completely swept the first wild card weekend on my bracket. I absolutely cooked.
I did forget to update our background this week because I was going to keep it updated through the playoffs. Justin Jefferson's still hanging out up there after the Vikings had their crushing L.
Yeah. We can kind of go through real quick. We don't have to go into super depth on a lot of these games, but we can kind of go through and give you our opinions on the wild card weekend and things real quick. The first game was the Texans and the Chargers. Now, we kicked this off last week by calling the first upset of the weekend, and we absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, I think it should have been more expected than obviously what the books had said.
Right.
I mean, you got C.J. Stroud, a hungry Texans team, regardless of their main injuries. The Chargers have been slow. The run game wasn't working. J.K. Dobbins has been shaken up the past few weeks. But I think it should have been more expected.
No, I completely agree. That Houston Texans defense can contend with the best stuff in the league, bro. They have so many playmakers on that side of the ball. Derek Stingley and Daniel Hunter and Will Anderson and Azeez Al-Shaair. And there's just guys everywhere that make plays at all times.
Yeah.
Jalen Petrie. And it really showed against the Chargers. Now, Justin Herbert was a guy during the regular season that took care of the football. It obviously had a lot to do with the run-heavy offense of Jim Harbaugh, but he didn't throw many picks. And last week, the Texans caused him to do that, and that's what won them the game. That game was very close in the first part of the first goings of it. The Houston offense didn't look insane the first couple of drives, but once the defense got rolling, C.J. Stroud figured it out, and man, they dominated.
Yeah, I know you're talking about the defensive side of the ball, but I love the word you used in playmakers because that's the one thing the Chargers haven't had all season. That's what we do in the off season. We're still all shocked by the moves being made.
Right.
Obviously, we know Harbaugh loves his run game and all that, but no big playmakers. And when it comes to the wild card and playoff games, that's what you need.
100%.
And that's what led to Herbert throwing 4 picks against an amazing Houston defense. Having no playmakers on his side to help out.
No, you're 100% right. We saw the late explosive play from Ladd McConkey, but you don't need that a lot more than what they had last week. C.J. Stroud did his thing. Houston's moving on to Kansas City, baby.
Yeah, you can't put all the pressure on a rookie Ladd McConkey to lead
an entire
your offensive drive.
Quentin Johnston still might have the most buttery covered hands in all of football.
Absolutely. Still not the product that Harbaugh thought he was, that he thinks he is.
Yeah, not at all. So shout out to my boy CJ. You know the love I have we have for CJ over here on the Travis and Jon Show. Definitely be rooting for him this weekend. After that, Ravens and Steelers was the next game on the slate.
No, it wasn't.
And if y'all paid attention or tuned in last week, I mean, you always obviously know John is a Steelers fan, but the kind of confidence he had last week was a little wild. And how's it got you feeling now?
I just had, something was telling me to just push the storyline. We were going to have a miraculous, random Cinderella story that nobody saw coming. There were no other big upsets in the wild card. C.J. Stroud in that game was still plus 100. I thought there was a chance, Or we've been the Ravens' biggest kryptonite.
I mean, I get it.
But the dysfunction in this team over the last 6-7 weeks has been horrendous. We dropped 5 straight. We were sitting at 10-3. We dropped 4 straight to end the season at 10-7.
Yeah.
Then we meet the Ravens.
One of the hottest teams in football.
Yeah, Russell Wilson been on a steep decline ever since we were 10-3. Najee Harris been looking rough. The offense itself has been looking busted, slow. Halfback toss, Hail Mary punt. Halfback toss, Hail Mary punt.
Essentially.
And our defense, TJ Watt, for like the last 10 weeks, if not longer, like 145 some snaps, not a single defensive stat. The biggest factor on our defense hasn't registered a stat.
Yikes.
Tackle, sack, fumble, pick.
That's
our defense. That's supposed to be one of our strongest points.
Yeah,
has been extremely slow.
Yeah, I did not know that stat.
I got the picture somewhere, I think.
I get what you're saying with the defense. Obviously, defense wins championships. Everyone knows.
193 consecutive defensive snaps without registering an official stat of any kind.
Yikes!
Any stat. 195 consecutive snaps. Our stat. Tackle.
Wow. I get you hear something like that, and the blame wants to immediately go to the defense side of the ball. I understand that. For one, the Ravens had one of the most overpowered, unstoppable offenses all season long. Let's not forget that. And for two, Russ was not the Russ of the first 2 or 3 weeks that he came back. He looked good the first couple of weeks. I'll give him that.
There was motion. He was feeling himself. But I don't know if it's true. I heard there was a little bit of beef between Arthur Smith and Russell Wilson. But that doesn't make sense to me because in the same thing, it says something about like they joked too, but they tried to keep it professional. That's what everybody does at a job. They were probably just fine.
Yeah.
We've been a slow offense for 3 seasons. That's not going to change over 1 year. It's not going to change when our only target is George Pickens. We're the same issue as the Chargers without as good as a quarterback.
Yeah.
A coach that now, I love Mike Tomlin. I don't know how to feel in this situation, so I'm not going to say anything yet. I don't know. But 8 consecutive years without a playoff win, he's 1 season behind Marvin Lewis, the old Bengals coach we used to make fun of growing up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, obviously we have issues that weren't fixed over 1 season. We tried to patch up a horrible offense with 1 O-line pick, getting rid of Kenny Pickett for Russell Wilson, and picking up Van Jefferson. We didn't do a lot, but I don't know. Because I love Mike Tomlin. 17 seasons without a losing season. Something's got to stand for it.
Yeah.
But 8 consecutive years without a playoff win, there's got to be more blame than just the roster every year. And if it's the roster, why aren't we fixing it? Why aren't changes being made? If we're the team that can scrape by 9-7, 10-7 for 17 years straight and get blown out in the wild card every time.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know what to say because I'm a Tomlin advocate. I always have been. He's a good coach. But at what point do the playoffs matter more than the regular season?
Exactly.
He gets you there. He's done that a lot. He doesn't do anything when he does get there. I also feel like they didn't fix the offensive coordinator spot. Arthur Smith is not a good coach. He's not a good offensive coordinator. We've seen that in Atlanta. I get the downfall of Kirk Cousins, but look what Raheem Morris was doing in Atlanta, and he's a defensive-minded coach. Let's be real. Arthur Smith's game plans are just not good. The offense continued to look stale as it did last season, which was your biggest problem. And it goes to show when that defense isn't playing at the caliber we all expect it to, and the offense continues to be very mid, it doesn't turn out to be very good results.
Yeah, I mean, defense start to realize and recognize the pattern of an inside zone, play action chuck.
I do people out on Madden that do that.
Exactly.
I think these guys 60-0 and do that kind of stuff.
Exactly. It's the same game plan as a Madden playbook. Run the ball, throw it deep, punt.
Yeah.
after it's incomplete, or randomly George Pickens isn't double covered because who in their right mind is going to guard Calvin Austin and Van Jefferson?
Yeah. I mean, just for example, bro, look at the difference in Bijan Robinson this year. Arthur Smith had him last year looking like he might have been a bust. You put him in the right situation, in the right offense, and look what he can do for you. He was a guy that had almost, you couldn't even count on two
You could
fingers.
say oh boy chances if obviously Saquon and Derrick Henry didn't
exist.
God mode season. Yeah, it didn't exist at all. Randomly tore their ACL in their senior, or not senior season, but the season they declared, But also, real quick, did you see that they had a group chat this offseason named like top running backs or something that about reviving the running back position? That's hard.
Yeah, that is tough. I want to know who else in there.
Facts. Because imagine, being someone like, Bijan or considering Josh Jacobs. Considering yourself.
And you see that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's the first thing I was like, imagine though, you're not it. Like, is Jahmyr Gibbs mad?
Let's be real. He wasn't considered the best back in the league last year. This year, 100%. One of the best.
Exactly.
Not last year.
But after 8 consecutive seasons of playoff, wild card, division round, if we're lucky, losses, mostly wild card, scraping by, getting 500 winning seasons, even though it means losing our last 4 and 5 every year. I don't know, at what point, like you said, do the playoffs matter more than the regular season?
Yeah.
We do nothing more than do enough to get by.
No, I don't think Mike Tomlin will be fired. I don't think it's time for that.
No, it's still, there's a lot of, I feel like a lot of people pushing it are media.
Yeah. I mean, the media is always going to push the narrative.
Yeah, I think it's more people that just, I don't know.
Because if this was anyone other than Mike Tomlin, they would be fired. But the culture and respect that he's built over there in Pittsburgh means a lot more than, some playoff losses, I guess.
Yeah. 8 consecutive.
Yeah. Well, enough of that, though. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. Baltimore Ravens are a very good team. They've been very dominant this year. Derrick Henry almost gave you 200 yards on the ground. I understand the downfall of Pittsburgh, but Baltimore was a horrible matchup for you guys in the first round.
Yeah,
that
really, really worst way to do it.
Yeah. And they, the better team deserved to move on. Not trying to down or hate on you. If they played the Saints, I would have said the same thing. They are the better team. They were the better team, and it showed. So shout out Baltimore, man. They'll move on and have a tough matchup in the divisional round, but we'll talk about that here in just a second. Next game on the slate is the Bills and the Broncos, and we all kind of seen this one coming.
Hey, Broncos started out the lead.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Didn't score a single point after their first drive. Not a single one.
The first drive was promising for Bronco fans.
Yeah, it was.
They were up 7-0.
Yeah, and that was the only.
They were down 34-7.
Yeah, the only time they were up 7-0. I would have much rather seen the Bengals in the playoffs. I'm gonna be honest with you. Bo Nix looked good in the regular season. They kind of folded against the Bills in the postseason, clearly. But the Bills are just the Bills, dude. And Josh Allen, impossible, should be MVP. Did his thing. James Cook did his thing. He took off on the Broncos, one of the better defenses in all of football. And the Bills are moving on.
Yeah, I think the Broncos, in a way, are comparable to the Steelers. Obviously, I'm not trying to compare Bo Nix to Russell Wilson because Bo Nix already looks better than 45-year-old Russell Wilson. Sure. But your primary playmakers are Cortland Sutton and then Devon Bailey.
Yeah.
You don't have a running back one, so we may have a better situation there, but a lot of issues.
Should be RB1.
Yeah, a lot of issues in Denver.
Yeah.
They look great for a rookie quarterback season with a lot of holes, but gives you something to improve on, playoff experience for young Bo, a lot of things to work on, and again, the Bills were your worst possible matchup.
Yeah.
So, almost expected.
100%. Eagles and Packers were next up, and Saquon killed a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Diving in the ground.
Yes.
Did you see
Devontae?
The sideline reaction? Yeah.
Yeah, Devontae looked at him. He said, "What did you go down?
Why didn't you take that in?
Yeah, it was a whole argument over there. But, I mean, it just goes to show Saquon's there to win. That's all he cares about. Saquon's the happiest he's ever been. Let's just put it that way. You can see it on every game day, every smile, every look at him. He looks just ecstatic to be there. The Eagles,
of course he is. He's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He was on the Giants.
And without
He's
the
in
Lions,
the playoffs.
Yeah. Without the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell existing, he would be on the best team in the NFC. Dan Campbell was born, and he does exist. But I'm not going to necessarily say did their thing. I mean, they won by 12 points, but the Packers also just looked really bad. Jordan Love threw 3 picks. The Philly defense played well. And I think the biggest thing I took from this game is Jordan Love's not ready. I also feel like it has a lot to do with the fact that he doesn't have a wide receiver 1.
Yeah, a bunch of slot receivers.
Jaden Reed's not as good as we thought he was going to be. None of those guys are as good as anyone kind of expected them to be this year. It's kind of just a wide receiver carousel over there. Yeah. Whoever's on that night is on that night, and that's got to be fixed. The defense got better. Josh Jacobs is really good. We forgot about that. But some things got to change in Green Bay. Jordan Love needs some targets. And hopefully Matt LaFleur can take care of that. I did see, I just want to mention real quick while we're on the topic of the Packers, that Devontae Adams said something about the Packers needing wide receiver help and needing a wide receiver 1. And Xavier McKinney replied to it and said, or said something like, come back. Or he said, like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was like, why don't you make a trip back or something like that. So, you call that collusion, but you can see EA back in the Packers news.
See? I don't know. I mean, it's easy to game plan when you can throw 5 to 7 guys in the box and say focus on Josh Jacobs as they hand off the ball and throw everybody else a little deeper in the secondary and say, somebody might catch the ball, but they're not going anywhere with it.
Right. The Eagles' offense, too, just continues to click.
A lot of stories out of A.J. Brown reading his book.
Yeah. Did you see the response from Jalen Hurts in the press conference when they asked him about that? He said, I seen him holding it, he said, but I've never actually seen him read it.
I think it's something made out of nothing, or nothing made out of something. I don't know.
It's really not that big of a deal. I mean, Marshawn Lynch used to be Skittles on the sideline, and we talked about that. I think
they're trying to say that if he had 25 catches and 3 touchdowns, he wouldn't have read the book. He's not happy.
People try to make anything out of anything.
No, it's people with high anxiety and stuff like that trying to keep their mind focused on what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're in a high pressure situation.
He literally said, whether I drop a pass or I catch a touchdown, I'm going to go read the book. I mean, if that's what the man likes to do, why do we care? Why does it doesn't bother anybody.
You're trying to turn it into a rumor.
Yeah.
Because he
do everything. Yeah.
I'll get it.
Always. But the Eagles move on. Did their thing, as we all expected and as we predicted. And they'll play in the next round. Next game on the slate. The game that I predicted, the game that I called, the Commanders and the Bucks. I told you, it was the C.J. Stroud situation from last year. He's a rookie quarterback. Of course he's going to be the underdog coming in. But if we're being honest, the Commanders, the entire season, were a way better team than the Bucks ever were. I get it. Baker Mayfield's good. That offense has its moments.
Regular season, the Commanders were really good.
They were amazing.
But the Buccaneers are a team engineered for the playoffs.
I understand.
Engineered for that wild card game.
I get it. Baker Mayfield's playing with one receiver. He hasn't had Chris Godwin for over half the season, who was his number 1 target before the injury.
Yeah.
Before going back and checking. And the defense is good. But the Bucks were made to be a playoff team when Tom Brady was a Buccaneer. When he was a Buck, they did their thing. But we saw the Commanders beat the likes of the Eagles in the regular season, and that told me everything I needed to know. The Commanders are a threat. I think this game against Detroit is going to be a lot closer than some people may think. I think Jayden Daniels is one of the most poised, calm quarterbacks in late game situations that I've ever seen, especially for a rookie. the way he just, I don't know, man, he just handles the situation so well, and he doesn't need playmakers when the plays work.
Yeah, I love that you said that because everybody, like I said, the Buccaneers were engineered for the playoffs, from the staff down to everybody on the roster, obviously missing Godwin, etc. But Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield are engineered for the wild card games, those big moments to randomly come out, throw 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, and do their thing. But this game showed we've seen Terry McLaurin have shaky moments this season and not be there at times. This game showed how good Jaden Daniels is, regardless of Terry McLaurin being there, regardless of his second wide receiver is Olamidis Zacchaeus or whatever that dude's name is.
De'Ami Brown had a breakout game.
This dude could get the ball to whoever. I'm convinced at this point. He, like you said, is super composed, doesn't feel pressure.
No.
And I mean, for how long was it that he went with 100% third down conversion rates? He had the highest highest rookie quarterback completion percentage in history.
Yeah.
With Terry McLaurin, Olamidis Zacchaeus, Zach Ertz,
who's 40.
Yeah, De'Ami Brown.
Yeah. And he's just doing his thing. I seen the stat right after that game. The Washington Commanders' last 6 games have come down to the final possession.
Yeah.
Or last 6 wins, have come down to the final possession. And it's been Jaden Daniels making a play.
Making a game-winning drive as a rookie.
Yeah.
And you cannot tell me Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler are decent running backs or a running back room.
No.
Throw Carson Wentz at quarterback and let any conversation about Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler being decent parts of that team be in the conversation. But since Jaden Daniels is winning games, they got a spot on the roster.
Yeah. I think, like I said, man, I really think Washington's going to give Detroit a run for their money. I don't necessarily think they'll win. We'll get into that in a minute. But I think it'll be a lot closer than people expect. Jaden Daniels is the real deal. That's
Earned my respect. I mean, like I said, I expected the Buccaneers to win, just being that playoff built team. And everybody on the Commanders not necessarily having that experience or having that explosive looking. They made it work. They won. That's what matters.
A 12-5 regular season does some good things for you.
Yeah.
We'll close it out with the wild card weekend with another upset, and in some people's eyes, some people not so much. The Vikings and the Rams. Now we talked about this
all season.
We said when the Rams were completely healthy, they were a very sneaky team. They had a fantastic second half of the season, finishing the year, I think 6-1, 6-2, something like that. Once everybody was back, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, who made his return in wild card weekend after a while. This team's really better than I guess we thought. They did things to the Vikings that only the Lions did this season. I seen the stat right after the game. The Vikings only 4 losses this season, including the playoffs, were to the Lions and the Rams, and then to the Lions and the Rams. All 4 of their losses came from the same 2 teams.
Talk about kryptonite.
Yeah. I think my biggest take from that game was Sam Darnold will not be a Viking next year. He had a very good regular season. I get this. He had a really good first 17 weeks or so. He had some games, some breakout games, but in the last 2 games of the season that absolutely mattered the most, he laid an egg.
I think that's a logical thing to do, a smart thing to do. But I think the Minnesota thing to do is think you have a great situation with 2 quarterbacks and let the once in MVP conversation for 6 weeks, Sam Darnold, start the season. And if things get shaky, then you can throw in JJ to the fire and hope for something new.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, but I also just think. I guess I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Sam Darnold. I
said it since week 1.
Yeah.
Like you said in the offseason, talking about J.J. McCarthy, that a lot of people had a chance to look good in this offense.
Yeah. And when Sam Darnold was confident and he was playing his role and just getting the ball to the playmakers, he looked good. But when he got pressured, when the moment hit him, when he knew it was everything or nothing.
Go home. Yeah.
I mean, he folded. He folded hard. He had a chance to win the number 1 seed. Got blown out.
Have that game. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he had a chance to revenge and go up against them again. The week after and blew it.
Yeah.
The Rams rocked them. I mean, their offense looked way better. Their defense got pressure on Sam Darnold like no other team in the league did all season. I mean, I'm pretty sure they had like almost 8 sacks or something. Sam Darnold in that one game. I mean, it was wild. Shout out the Rams, I guess. Matt Stafford, since joining the Rams, I think is like 10-2 in the playoffs or something like that. I've seen. Kind of crazy. He's been kind of hooping up and won a Super Bowl over there, obviously. But man, I think the Rams are a sneaky team.
A lot of storyline to back up the LA movement.
Yeah. We did say with the whole momentum of the LA wildfires, it would spark the light in somebody, and it sure wasn't the Chargers.
Fight for it.
Yeah. Somebody had to take control. Wasn't it? The Chargers.
Yeah.
But a good wild card weekend nonetheless. That brings us to the divisional round. With that being said, we can kind of transition this into the next topic of discussion here, where we hop back on FanDuel and we talk a little bit about the games this weekend, and obviously some favorite touchdowns for this weekend slate.
I love the playoffs and how they've implemented Saturday games for the playoffs. Beautiful. Beautiful.
100% beautiful. First game on the slate. Kick things off for divisional round weekend.
Talk about a matchup.
Yeah.
Whew.
CJ Stroud versus Patrick Mahomes. Texans and Chiefs, man. And this is a game that I'm kind of split on. The NFL football knower/fan in me wants to take the Chiefs just because it's the Chiefs in the playoffs and when do they lose. But also just watching football this year.
You said that you can't bet against the Texans. The opportunity's here.
And I don't know what to do. I think the Texans showed us a lot last week. I think, like I said, the biggest thing with them last week was their defense. The Chiefs this year haven't scored a single game over 30 points. Something we're not used to.
Scares me. We've talked about the Chiefs being upset in both of our predictions.
Yeah. And
I think a lot of people have. The expectation now is this team's not ready for a three-peat.
Yeah.
It's hard to bet against the black magic they've had this season, the ref leniency for Kansas City that's been a topic of discussion now that they're the new era Patriots. But something, obviously, that it scares me to ever doubt the Chiefs when a three-peat is on the line. In this big of a moment, this isn't just a random Week 16 where I'd say it's the Chiefs.
Right.
But they haven't scored over 30 points. They haven't. All these games have been field goal decision games, black magic games.
Yeah.
A blocked field goal, a non-call, a call that got you the ball back or whatever. I don't know. The Texans have a lot of momentum.
I agree. The way I see it is if these Texans defense can go in here and just steal 14 points from the Chiefs, they're very well en route of winning this game. I think they can.
Yeah, the defense has the biggest role of the night.
Yeah, and now listen, I don't know. The back of my brain makes me think it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Kansas City Chiefs, it's the playoffs. Mahomes is going to come out and have a legacy game. They're going to do something.
3 touchdowns. Yeah,
they're going to score 48 points, and the Texans are going to get rocked.
Yeah, 48 to 30, 48.
Yeah,
32.
But I don't know, man. I don't know if I can make myself believe that. I think CJ Stroud and these guys have a legitimate shot in this game. I think
it's in Kansas City.
Well, yeah, they'll have home field advantage.
Yeah, because the number one seed. I'm just saying. That's part of it. Playing in Arrowhead.
I don't know, man. Is it in me? I also just want to make this known. I don't think once in my entire life since Patrick Mahomes has been a Kansas City Chief, I've ever bet against them. I don't think I have. I think I may, sometimes have that little ink like the Chiefs are going to lose, whatever. But I've never put real life currency on it. Never.
Yeah, see?
And I just don't know if I can.
Mahomes had 6 more touchdowns than Stroud, 1 less pick. But Joe Mixon had obviously 300 more yards, 4 more touchdowns than Hunt. Nico Collins had 200 more yards and 4 more touchdowns than Travis Kelce. The offense is pushing in Houston. They just need the defense to step up. I just don't know if Kansas City in the playoffs lose.
At least to the Texans.
Minus 500. Like, FanDuel's got to know, right? Surely.
Yeah.
The first upset is in the plus 385, right?
I don't think so. I think you have to ride the Chiefs. I mean, it's the playoffs and it's the
Like
Chiefs.
the Bills upset at a pick-me makes sense, but I mean, obviously, I don't know.
Right.
But like a 3,
Yeah. I think we have to ride Kansas City just for the fact that it's Kansas City.
yeah.
Simple as that.
A game I feel, I'm not going to say a lot more confident in.
Saturday's going to be a banger of football.
Oh, yeah. Saturday night. See, Saturday during the day, I might be doing something. I run to the store or something. Sunday, you might usually do the store.
Right.
But Saturday, you might get out and do something. Check out football during the day while you're out and about. Get home. Keep your shoes off. You ain't doing nothing the rest of the night. Get dinner. Order dinner.
Yeah.
Watch a banger.
Absolutely. Commanders versus Lions. Now, I said this earlier. I think this game's going to be a lot closer than people expect. Don't get me wrong. I had been a Detroit Lions sideline fan since the beginning of last year. They were my Super Bowl prediction last year, and they were my Super Bowl prediction this year.
Yeah.
They continue to prove why they're the best team in football. I really wholeheartedly think they are the best team in football. I mean, I'll say that. I'll scream it from the mountaintops. But I think Jaden Daniels is really good. I think the Commanders around Jaden Daniels are okay. I think he just makes him look fantastic. And this is going to be his biggest test of his career.
Told you.
I think it'll be close, but I just will never in my life bet against the Lions, at least in this moment. I never thought I would say that, but I just won't. They used to be my Panthers. They used to be the team everybody beat. Everybody hated. But they're the best team in football right now. They are going to the Super Bowl. I don't care if anybody says they will be the NFC champions. So I'm obviously slamming them over the Commanders.
Absolutely.
You just can't not.
This game doesn't feel real. Rams and Eagles.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this one. I really don't. I feel like a lot of people are on LA. I think if the Eagles are going to lose, it would be here. Unless it's to the Lions next week. But I don't know, man. The way they looked against Minnesota, they looked good. What do you think?
That offense in Philly just has so much firepower.
Yeah.
But is this the week where they fall apart and the controversy starts all over again?
Yeah. I don't know. And I said it earlier, without the Lions, the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. I really believe that. I think that offense just has so much firepower. Obviously, the best running back in football this year. I think their defense is really good.
Yeah, when healthy, having the targets of A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't think I could willingly bet on the Rams. I don't know. I just really don't. I think the Eagles are a way better team than the Vikings. I think they have been all season long. We said it multiple times that this was going to happen to Minnesota. We said it when they were 10-1, that they were going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. We said it all year long. To who, we didn't know at the time, but the Rams are a very worthy team. I think the Eagles take this. I really do.
Yeah, something in me. I can't bet against this offense.
Yeah.
At some point, maybe, going up against the Lions, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless a Cinderella breakout starts right now for the plus 225 Rams.
I don't want to believe it.
In Philly.
I think they're the legitimate only team left that I don't want to win the Super Bowl. I think I'd be okay with anybody else. Anybody else.
Outside of LA.
But the Rams are just boring.
I swear to God.
I'm just not a fan. They're just not that great. I just want to make it known on hypothetical matchups, the Lions are the favorite against the Eagles. I always like looking at these. FanDuel always does the hypothetical matchup odds. It's kind of cool to see. That. Kind of dope. But yeah, I think we have to ride the Eagles. This Sunday night game, though, this is the best.
I'm confused why it's at 6:30. That's such an odd time.
I think that's what they did last week, too. Maybe I'm wrong.
But, oh my gosh, the stakes of this game are huge.
MVP versus MVP.
The literal 1 and 2. However you want to rank it, they're both right there. 1 and 2, regardless of how you rank your quarterbacks, those two are 1 and 2.
They are the best quarterbacks in the league. Yeah, wholeheartedly.
And it pains me because whoever loses shouldn't be out of the playoffs. No. It feels too early for this high stakes of a game. Like, I'm scared. I'm honestly scared because you either lose Josh Allen, who's been on a historic run with, not the most explosive offense, but doing literally everything himself. The Bills have looked great. Or you get Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, who have also looked amazing. One of them are going home.
Yeah.
This weekend.
This sucks. It really does. This is what I mean by the Rams. Now listen.
This is the worst possible matchup that could happen.
Yeah.
Because an MVP's going out.
In our brackets that we built last week, I believe we both had this matchup. And we went separate sides.
Exactly.
We are not in agreement on this game. We feel different ways. But here's my thing. For this parlay to be anything to even bet on, we have to add one of these teams. This is sitting at minus 110. This ain't even plus money yet.
I know.
There's no way we go out with a 3-leg minus 110.
Because it's all the favorites.
Yeah. And for good reason. They're the favorites for a reason. I mean, there's no... I really don't think there's no underdog story this week.
No underdog story?
For those 3 games. Listen, the Ravens were in my Super Bowl. In my prediction. I think...
The Bills were in mine.
I know. This is what I mean. Listen, you place Bills, I'll place Ravens.
Hey, there goes the carpet. Regardless of the line, the ESPN preview, one of those times I hedged the bet last minute.
Literally. Hear me out. If we get here, we hedge anyways.
I'll say we'll have to. I mean, surely the other ones are givens.
Yeah.
This last one is the toss-up. That's why the lines... if there's an upset, FanDuel's not going to have it. Yeah. They're not going to give a plus 140 like an upset. They're not going to pay that out. The Bills plus 100,
Now listen. Before I say that, let me double check. Before I sound crazy. Okay, they did play in the regular season, I thought. They played week 5 of the regular season, and the Ravens beat them 35-10. They were the Bills' first loss on the year. And this was when the Ravens started 0-2, and then won 2 straight, second one against the Bills. Week 4, I guess. I think
Bills defense.
I think Josh Allen is the MVP, but I'm going to tell you my thought process on this. I think Josh Allen is the MVP because he's doing. Okay, I can't even say he's doing the same, if not better, than Lamar with much worse around him. I think the Ravens are the better team.
Lamar Jackson has 9 Pro Bowlers.
Yes. I think they're by far the better team. I think their defense is way better than the Bills' defense. Bills' defense is good, don't get me wrong. And I think Derrick Henry, outside of Saquon, is the most unstoppable player in football.
Yeah.
This is a very hard team to beat. The reason they are in my Super Bowl.
I may make popcorn for this game.
Yeah.
They literally, kick back, take a popcorn. It's going to be a movie.
Oh,
How about the bet, the over on like 50?
Yeah.
It's like 45 to 40.
I'm about to bet over 99.5 points. I'm about to see Jared Goff versus Patrick Mahomes again.
I'm telling you, it's going to be 56 to 53 on a Justin Tucker 55-yard field goal.
To reclaim his
tie, yeah.
He's been horrible.
See?
Yeah.
There's going to be a storyline where he's up to win the game. Like, oh, he's been rough this season. He's been shaky. The biggest moment of the year. 55 yards.
And the Ravens move on, yeah. I personally think the Ravens win.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised just because we've now been ingrained with the face of Josh losing and his sad playoff loss faces for the last 5 or 6 seasons, unfortunately. But
yeah,
I don't know. If any year this is the year, I'd love to see this little Cinderella story. I mean, you can't really say that for an MVP.
Right.
But I don't know. Outside of like the Chiefs and Ravens being more expected, obviously, to be there, I would love to see the Bills' dominance continue. I just don't know if the defense has the pieces to slow down Lamar and Derrick Henry because who else has? But it'll be an exciting.
I agree. So do with that as you will. I don't think we're really going to come to agreement on a pick here. I think either team's a good pick. It's going to be the closest game of the weekend.
Cat graduated.
Oh.
He's not playing in a revenge game.
Oh.
Odds are down to 300.
Oh. Cool, and if we cash it out, we don't get the boost.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, I went from almost $200 to 30.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, well, that's lovely. Nick's money line probably dropped too, I would assume. Minus 144 still.
Yeah, it was minus 210.
Yeah.
Or minus 173.
Well, that was with the boost. It was higher than
The
that.
Celtics are up 7.
Right where we need them to be. All right.
Literally directly where we need.
All right, we're not done just yet, though. We have some touchdown picks to give out for this weekend's slate. And it's pretty simple. Not a lot of games to look at. Some big names, obviously, still alive. Do you want to start or you want me to start?
You go ahead and start, man.
Okay. I know exactly where I'm going with this. Very easy to me. They're playing against the 4th worst ranked rush defense in all of football in the Washington Commanders. David Montgomery is back.
I thought about it, but that's what made me hesitate. That's why I said you go first. That's the first thing I clicked on.
Monty is back. I get that. But let's be real.
They're not going to push him.
He's
right
back way
after
too
injury.
soon.
Yeah.
He should not be back. I think Dan Campbell's pushing him a lot harder than he needs to. I think Jahmyr Gibbs can handle that backfield alone as he scored 4 touchdowns in Week 18.
Yeah.
He can do it all, obviously. I'm slamming Jahmyr Gibbs as my number 1 favorite pick. I think he gets the bulk of the workload. And I think Monty doesn't play a whole lot.
All right, I'll go ahead and go mine, and then I made the decision a little easier for me. We're going to have to wait another night. I'm going Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Regardless of how this game goes, he's getting in the end zone. Obviously, there's got to be a look towards Saquon Barkley, but there's always that fear of the Jalen Hurts push. If it's a 1 yard to goal situation, it's more than likely Jalen Hurts getting that.
Yeah.
So that's what made me fade here. And Derrick Henry, I feel like we said this game could hit 100 points for all we know. So Derrick Henry being at least one of those seems like a sure bet.
Yeah. to stick exactly kind of where you are for my second favorite. He's a guy that took off last week. Obviously, you have Josh Allen, who is another quarterback rushing threat. But I think after what they seen from James Cook last week, I think they feed him again. He had 170-plus yards on the ground last week and got in the end zone. My second favorite, I'm going with James Cook for sure.
I like that. This is tricky because they're all plus money for this game. I don't think any pundit knows how it's going to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the Texans-Chiefs game. And I feel like we talked about it all season. It's Travis Kelce losing a step. He's not really there. This is the game where we talk about all season. They're saving Travis Kelce for this three-peat. He needs to be involved in the playoffs.
100%.
And the Texans are going to have a fight. Like we said, if they get a couple stops, they're easily within range.
Yeah.
We've seen it many times this season. The Chiefs aren't all that explosive. But the number one target will be Travis Kelce, and I think he gets in the end zone.
I agree. I'm with you there. All right, beautiful. We'd love to see that. That'll round out our four-leg top two picks. Mine were Derrick Henry. Or no, they weren't. Mine were Jahmyr Gibbs and James Cook.
I had Derrick Henry and Travis Kelce.
Beautiful. Now, we can do our top long shots real quick, I guess. One pick each. I think I know where I want to go. If you don't know. Oh, I have two. I have two that I like a lot, plus money. I'll let you go. Maybe
Okay, I'll go. Maybe I'll make this a little easier. Again, this will be a shootout. I'm sticking the Kansas City-Houston game for mine. And like we said, this game's well within range. Houston's got the momentum, but the guy that's been that dog all season has been Joe Mixon.
Thank you.
And the Kansas City Chiefs run defense. Obviously, you have Chris Jones in the middle, but outside of that, their run defense, I feel, has been the one thing holding them back. Obviously, we've seen they can't score above 30 points, but Joe Mixon will make this game a fight.
Okay, cool. Because it was between him and one other pick, so I'm going to go with him. I'm going to go to a game we haven't really touched yet. No, I'm not going to go Saquon, minus 170. Obviously, he's always a threat, but it's just kind of scary with him.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the next best option in this game, sitting at plus money. A guy that has obviously taken the workload over there the last few years and been one of their top guys. Sitting at plus 100, I'm going Kyren Williams for the Los Angeles Rams. He scored last week. I think if they're going to keep up in this game, it's not going to be able to all be through the air. I think Kyren Williams has to be established early. And we even seen last week his first touchdown was a receiving touchdown. He gets involved in the pass game.
Yeah.
He always has a shot to score. Okay, cool beans. So our top long shots were Joe Mixon and Kyren Williams. Let's see it. This is all like for this weekend. Stuff that I've been cooking.
Chewy.
I'm so excited for divisional football. Okay, I guess that'll bring us to a close with FanDuel and the NFL betting side for the moment. We hope you guys got all those in. Good luck on your weekend bets this weekend. Divisional weekend should be a lot of fun. I know for a fact I'll be tuned in, as will a lot of other people. Nice. That's what we love to see. Okay. We're not done just yet, though. We have some more football stuff to talk. And become a tradition around here, the 1v1 fantasy football drafts. And we kept it going in the wild card weekend. And we will continue going in here in the divisional weekend. Last week, though, I'll give you a quick back rundown on those teams. Mine was Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, Zach Ertz, Bucky Irving, Jalen Hurts, and the Bills defense. Yours was Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Joe Mixon, Justin Jefferson, George Pickens, Cade Otton, Kyren Williams, Baker Mayfield, and the Eagles defense. Your team totaled out 116.3. Well, my team totaled out 130.5 for the slight low 14-point W.
Needed the playoff comeback, huh?
Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry combined for 53.7 fantasy points. Saquon unfortunately didn't do a whole lot for you. 12.3. Jed only had 5.8. K-Dot had 3.2. Josh Jacobs on my side had 18.1. Nico had 18.2. Just a few little bit of margin here. Okay, I had a quick question here for you before we got started here in the divisional round. Would you want to keep both flexes, or do you just want to simply go super flex and get rid of the flex?
Go super flex.
Because I was gonna say it's gonna start getting a little rough.
And getting down to picking the 4-string dudes off the bench.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I have the number 1 pick this weekend since I came out with the W. Now we do have 2 new teams added to the mix that we weren't able to draft from last week, but obviously 4 teams, or I guess 5 teams that we are no longer able to draft from.
Kansas City Chiefs and Detroit Lions
Absolutely.
add themselves into the mix.
100%. And with myself having the first pick this week, I think I'm going to kick it off early with one of the teams that had a bye week last week. And my number 1 pick is going to be Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, come on. I don't care that David Montgomery's back. Like I said, he's not 100%. Jahmyr Gibbs has become the guy in Detroit.
Surely Monty plays decoy and they don't send him out there to the Wolves first game back, right?
Right. Let's hope so.
I think we'll just stay in route of our favorites for right now. Give me Derrick Henry.
Okay. Maybe Derrick Henry, you say? Okay, listen. I understand he wasn't on our touchdown slips, but I can't pass him up again. He was the best running back in the regular season. He still had over 100 yards last week.
Yeah, this is about fantasy points, not just studies.
Yeah, I'm going Saquon Barkley. Beautiful little running back pairing there.
I'll match you in the running back pairing. Give me Joe Mixon.
You want Joe, you say? Let me just keep that right there. I'd rather choose for him. Okay. The running back train heavy here to start this draft. I suppose I'll kick it off on the wide receiver side of things, just due to the fact that they score so many points, and he is just a touchdown merchant. I'm going back to the Lions for my number 1 wide receiver, and I'm going Alondra.
Absolutely.
There's just not a whole lot of great wide receivers left. Interesting.
Give me Nico Collins.
Yeah, I thought about it.
Stay heavy on Houston.
I suppose. Okay, I'm going to take my tight end then. You said he has to get involved, right? He has to be their number 1 option.
Got it.
They saved him for this moment. I'm drafting Travis Kelce. Beautiful. You gotta do it. I so hope you take. I don't want you to take that.
I was going to match you a tight end.
Oh, okay.
Take Sam Laporta.
Okay. I could have
A
gone
little
3
bit of
lines.
Detroit game. A little bit of Detroit in my lineup. Spare some of their 60 points.
Okay. Shoot. Between a couple guys at wide receiver 2. Oh, good God. I'm going to do it. I think he'll be involved. He had a good week last week, 7 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown. It's going to be a shootout. They're going to have to stay in the pass game to keep up. I'm going to take my wide receiver 2 and Terry McLaurin.
I thought about it.
I don't think I've drafted him like it all this year.
I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go quarterback. Give me a shootout game. Give me Josh Allen.
Thank you. I'm so glad you did that because I'm taking Lamar Jackson. I wanted you to do that just simply the fact because that's the only game we disagree on.
Yeah.
You took the quarterback you're siding with, and I took the quarterback I'm siding with, so I'm glad you did that. I took Lamar Jackson, so back to you. You have a halfback, it's out of place a little bit, but you have a halfback and a super flex.
I'll go Kyron Williams.
Or wait, no, you have a wide receiver. I put Joe Mixon in the wrong slot. He's in your wide receiver slot. And that's on me. So you need a wide receiver. My bad. You can take Kyron in your super flex if that's what you want. But you still need a wide up. You can check your pick if you want to.
Talk about risky. Give me Khalil Shakir.
Wow. I did see a thing though, which I thought was pretty cool. There was a video on Instagram of him preparing for the weather this weekend, and he was standing out in the stadiums, or in the Bill Stadium, just full of snow and like -degree weather, just catching passes. So, kind of cool. Okay, so we both need a super flex. I'm just gonna speed through it. I'm sorry, I gotta do it. I was gonna take him anyways. I'm taking Kyron Williams in my super flex. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Ooh, I know who I should have took. Low-key, he's probably gonna go undrafted. I like Kyron Williams, but
Give me Jalen Hurts.
I thought about it.
He steals one.
I also wanted to take Okay, defense, real quick. I'm taking the Eagles defense. I'm sorry, Rams, but I just don't trust.
Lions defense.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. Quick back rundown on those very quickly because your boy John has to pee over here. My team: Lamar Jackson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Travis Kelce, Kyron Williams, Eagles defense.
Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Khalil Shakir, Nico Collins, Sam Laporta, Joe Mixon, Jalen Hurts, and the Lions defense.
Beautiful for a little divisional round fantasy football. But all right, with that being said, that's pretty much everything we have planned here for you guys tonight. We will attempt to make the return of Deal or No Deal next week. So if you enjoyed that segment, don't worry, it'll be back. But we hope you guys really enjoyed this show. This is our first real presentation of the new setup and new graphics and everything we have coming this year. We will kind of have everything more so fully figured out in the next coming weeks. Obviously, it's a little bit of a process making changes.
Absolutely.
But we appreciate you guys sticking with us, and we hope nothing changes.
Absolutely. We'll be back January 24th, next Friday. Thank you to everybody that tuned in for any point, any comments, like, react, and share, etc. Anybody being a part of the page, it means a lot.
Absolutely.
Again, we'll be back next Friday. Trying to turn all our ideas into beautiful projects that we can display.
And the product, baby. It's the ultimate goal as always. But hopefully 2025 continues to treat us well. And everybody go check out all of our socials and our link tree in our bio. But I think that's pretty much everything. And with that being said, as always,
it's been the Travis and Jon Show
live
on Facebook Live
and
TikTok Live.
Peace out, everybody. Have a great weekend.